Hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Acho que não tá funcionando.
So maybe let's wait like for 2 minutes for some more participants. On this sunny Saturday, it's a bit difficult to join the courses, the activities you take near your PC. But 2 minutes and maybe somebody else will join and we can start, yeah?
For me, Saturday is like Monday, like usual.
Working every day.
Yeah, almost.
But you know, in these Corona times, we just learned to taste the weather and the time to be outside in a bit more tricky way, with more like precious attention.
Yeah, in fact. Actually, it's something as 4 months that I'm not going out of the office, something like that. Because also when I could, it was impossible for me. Will discover a new city when I will go out. How many people are here?
Well, for a moment, we have 6 of participants. Both. Only Tom
Okay.
said that he wouldn't join us today.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Maybe we can start. Luis, Vera, Veronica, Parisiat, Pavel, are you here? Are you hearing us? Do you hear us?
We are here.
Super.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
Marka, I would like to ask you to start maybe with this amount of people that we have today.
Yes. Now I have to check where my Zoom went.
Where is this window?
Every time it goes in a different place.
And Christina with us now. Super. Hello.
Because I have not only one screen. I don't find where is a share screen now. It's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, just a moment. Okay, return to meeting. Okay, now I have it. Okay. It's crazy. I was in a place, was under another screen. Now I found it.
Screen web.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I start to share. If for you it's okay, I start sharing my screen, even if, as I have written inside Discord, at this time I will prefer to start to see the concepts of participants. I mean, discussing what you are planning to do, if I can help you in the concept, in developing the concept. And after, I will go to explain again in a slower way, because the last time I was very fast, how to make materials. And I will start also to explore more deep what is a material, what is unwrapping, and things like that. But before, I would like to see the concepts of people, if they have it. So.
So, darlings, who have something to show, to tell us about the thing you're developing?
I have. I don't have something to show. Let me start the video.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything to show, but
Okay.
I have a
it's
concept.
not a problem.
And it was going to be like something that moves and that has a glow. And I don't particularly know how to make something like an object move like it was doing something like that, in the space.
Like following a wave or something like that.
Yes. It's kind of like a creature. I don't know the concept yet, but in the technical part, I was going to be like
there is something complicated, because it's called I don't remember, void, something like that, and I don't use that techniques. And essentially is giving to objects a sort of artificial intelligence as animals are moving like fish. Okay. But it's not easy to explain shortly. And so if you want to move something, I can explain again how to animate something, okay? And you can try it, but try to focus on something more easier. And also my modeling class was more focused on modeling for the apps, because I think that animation for a beginner is something very, very tricky. Also, I'm not an animator, so if I explain something, I can explain it not in a good way, okay? But after the class, I will try to investigate a nice way, and maybe I make a short video how to make something move in a way that you want, and I share it on Discord, okay? But for the class, it's too long.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Someone else? Nice to see people also on the webcam. Guys?
So maybe someone had an idea to create something, and we can discuss it now.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Vera writes that she needs 10 minutes to show us something, so she'll be the next. And now Luis, yeah?
Yeah, I was wanting to ask, because I'm also like starting to develop the concept, and I'm trying to natively do it in Blender, because I since I'm from an architectural background, I used to work with other software, but I'm interested in to know if what is more suitable for the goals of the lab, modeling an object or a space in which other objects could be contained. Because I like to work with this like duality, and usually I'm more space oriented than object oriented. So yeah, this is a bit like my question right now.
Okay, for me it's the same. Okay, but ask to
Yeah, so maybe
yeah,
for
Alexander.
the
Yeah.
part of the project, Luis, like for now we are more work in more free way in general. So we are just around developing the ideas and like um, such intentions of participants, individual ideas on lyrics, on songs. That's what I was explaining previous times and wrote also in one of our mails. Yeah, so it depends on your perception of the music also. So your experience this or that harmony of sounds as a space or as an object. And here comes the question of your personal perception of this. And for me, for a curator of the project, it's interesting to understand how you translate these, how you translate these affects that we got from music, yeah, into something that could be created with a blender, yeah. So both variants are very possible and very welcome. It maybe for our stage now, it's more on intuitive way on it depends more on your way of perception and your type of imagination. So you can feel free absolutely or to work with the space or to create an object, and maybe with your type of background, with the architectural background, it could be even better to try to rethink your like special perception, but with this thing in mind about sound, about music. Maybe I explained this. Did you got me?
Yeah. Thank you for the insight. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Luis, how I planned this lab is to be more free as possible to make you understand what you can do inside Blender. Okay, and maybe for someone was a bit confusing because I wanted to give to you more inputs. I could, okay, I wanted to show you what all the power that you have inside Blender and how to use it to not be limited by only one tool. You can use many tools, okay? The tool is not important. It's the concept that you have behind the most important thing. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you.
So what your intuition tells you now for you vote for space or you vote for something object oriented?
That's the thing that I usually work with in space because that's like what drives my practice. But I'm also interested in developing. I won't call it sculpture, but more like something object oriented. And it's always like a tricky thing when you are 3D modeling because you're used to model things from the outside. So like in a more like sculptural related process, but like to experience those objects from the inside, it's a bit tricky with this software sometimes, because you're like rotating and like for me, like my perception is more like space of like seeing it from the interior, and like the music piece that I have in mind, it's more related to that. So
So maybe this is a point to start from start the process from, and I hear now that you feel this special sense in a music, and it's part of your background why to broke it. Sometimes it's better just to follow this your like habits of perception.
yeah.
Thank you, Luis. Vera, if you need 10 minutes, don't worry. You can try to explain it to me, and I hope to to be able to help you. Okay.
Chandra, she writes on chat that she has
Yeah. Yes.
problems with connection. Yeah, she'll be back in 10 minutes.
So you have 10 minutes before Samra comes back.
I have a rough idea that I've been playing around with that I don't mind sharing with you guys. One second. Hi, it's me.
Hi.
Sorry. Okay, so I was kind of just based on what you guys wrote about taking your favorite song and kind of just riffing off it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I honestly, it was a very easy choice for me because I feel like I have one song which just is like has always been like my one favorite song. No matter what. I mean, there have always been a lot of like different artists and a lot of different music that has come and gone, but it's like this one has always been sort of a constant.
That stays with you always, yeah.
Yeah, it's just been there for like forever. And okay, so I'm just gonna like give you a quick brief like sort of idea as to what it is about and what I kind of have as of now. So basically, it's a song called "Weird Fishes" by Radiohead. It's one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite bands, and there's a lyric from it. It comes at the end of the track. It's called "Hit the Bottom and Escape." And it's a line that has always like it's just always stuck with me. No matter what, I think it's literally that line that kind of makes this song very meaningful to me. And for me, it's kind of about reaching various points in your life where you constantly feel like you're hitting rock bottom, and you somehow invariably do eventually find a way to escape it. This is obviously a very oversimplified view of it.
Trick escape, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I feel like for me, something that allows me to kind of escape sometimes is this weird thing I have for objects. Sometimes they're inanimate objects, sometimes they're like random things from nature, like flowers or leaves or bugs. But so I feel like there are certain objects and also like certain spaces which they kind of commemorate a certain feeling that you're going through or a certain like phase in your life. So what I kind of wanted to do was to create like this sort of abstract structure, which is made entirely out of cubes, but cubes that are three-faced, so open from one side. Actually, I've done some dummies, so I can quickly put them on the screen if you guys want.
That'd be great.
Okay, one sec. I've never done this on Zoom before, so let me just figure it out. Where is it? Right. Okay.
Welcome in my problem.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Am I doing it? Is it sharing? I can only see myself. Sorry. So this is literally like something that I kind of I was just doing this like a little while before the call started, just to make it a little clear in my head as well. So basically, I want to like create the structure which is just made up of like a gazillion of these cubes, and they're all kind of just like stacked one on top of the other, but in a pretty like abstract manner, kind of like Jenga meets Tetris. And basically, when you enter like your hub space, you can't really tell what it is. You're kind of just seeing like this weird structure which looks sort of geometrical. And basically, when you zoom in, each cube goes into like a room. And it's like I want to basically model these rooms around rooms that I have seen in the span of my life, rooms that I have been in, rooms that I've experienced and felt this particular song in, or the emotion of the song. I also want some rooms to literally just be like, in general, it'll have like a very minimal aesthetic. And I want kind of like each room to commemorate an object, even maybe, because I feel like I also have like these particular objects that so like I have this ring that I really like. I have this like table in my house with a vase and this one particular flower that is just a permanent fixture. So like I don't know, I have a weird thing
like
with
you go
objects.
from a memorability over there, yeah. So you take the space, you take such a sketch of interior, and you take one or several very like special for you objects, like something memorable.
Yeah. And I mean, I was thinking basically like the structure can be like anything. Either it can be just an abstract structure, or it can even be something like, I was thinking that maybe it can be something that like the front view of it can be like a very abstract looking structure. But if you do that thing in hubs where you fly and you go on, look at it from like a bird's eye view, it kind of makes like a particular shape, or makes like a particular like it is something, so to speak. So it also like just plays on the fact that, you know, you can look at something from one point of view and it may not make any sense, but the minute you change your point of view, it, you know, suddenly everything fits.
So it depends like from the eyes of the viewer, yes.
Yeah.
Of the side, depends on your point.
Yeah, and it can even again, I haven't explored hubs intensively, so I'm not sure what like the scope or the potential is. But it can even be something where some, you know, room might look empty, but then if you rotate it, there's like a secret entrance and you can enter it, and you realize that, oh shit, okay, there is actually something in it. Maybe the rooms can all be individual objects that people can, you know, move around, or maybe the objects in the room can be stuff that people can, you know, sort of rearrange. It's very like it's very open right now, but this was sort of a rough framework that I had.
Yeah, from a technical point of view, we have only to see what you need, you know, because actually the possibilities are limited to the hubs, but you have to think more in this kind of terms. Like, for example, you can also create different spawn points, but we will see it the last day, not today, okay? Or maybe I will prepare a video later that can be already useful for everybody, because actually you can also decide where people are going when they enter the room. If you enter inside the hub, you can decide where people are placed. And on this, I think that Vera is more expert than me, okay? Because she did already, I think, something in the apps. And also you can also, for example, to create the same room with different objects and replicate it on different apps room, and to teleport when you go inside the room, you can put something that teleport the people in the other room. Okay. And also you can switch the scene. For example, I'm inside the scene. It's morning, okay, and there is the sun. I can decide that I teleport all the people in a place where the sun is not there. It's night. You can decide to do also this is another possibility. You have to create multiple same rooms, but you have already your cubes. You place the cubes in the same place. I think that people are not teleported in the same place, and also this can be nice, because if you change room, you don't arrive in the same block. You can arrive in the other. Okay.
In a different block.
Yes. And only think to this from a technical point of view. The easiest thing for materials, okay, is to make a color material, not to make
Right.
amazing texture, because to make amazing texture, okay, you have
Yeah.
cube and I can explain to you how to do that, but if
Yeah.
someone else has something sorry, has something more organic, okay,
Right.
it's more difficult. You have to do a process that I'm going to explain today, that is not that easy for a beginner, okay.
Right.
But in case from a an aspect or artistical aspect, the idea is awesome, and I'm not the judge for that. Okay, but you have to think where you have the technical problems, and on that I can
Correct.
help you. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. I was actually like the same thing that Louis asked earlier about whether you should do an object or a space. I was actually facing like the same conundrum today morning, and then I was like, I just need to figure out a way to do both. And I feel like this
Okay.
kind of does that, because it's like I want the entire structure to look like one object, but basically on like more detailed examination, like the person who's entering the room kind
Yeah.
of realizes that it's a space as well as an object.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Speaking about that, because now I realized also that you have these possibilities. When you enter at the beginning in a room, you can also choose the point of view of the initial screen. So
Okay.
if you want to not show all the entire blocks, you can decide to zoom when you export from hub only on the part that you are interested viewer watch at the beginning, and you see it.
Okay.
You don't see it where you're arriving. I can also, for example, I have a dark sky. I can show to people the dark sky. When they press, they are inside the room. You can also do this trick. Okay.
Okay.
In case.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Vera, sorry, I have seen that you needed to explain me something. If you are here, you can start to explain your concept.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Nice to meet you. How can I
Nice to meet
share
you.
my screen?
Okay.
I'm sharing my screen now.
Okay. Yes, I'm seeing.
So this is my idea. For me, music is like when we listen music, we feel our soul are dancing or maybe feeling so inspired. So I want to create such people. Actually,
Okay.
I use these models from Gravity Sketch. For me, it's much easier to use already made models than to model it by my own hands.
Okay.
To make process faster. And last session, I was inspired of making 3D from some textures. So this is flowers, and I want to make texture like floral based texture using Blender, and then make optimization. I don't know what will I get.
Okay.
Can I make it out of one
Okay.
photo,
No.
or I need to make 50 photographs to create some model?
But also, Luis can explain to you better, because he knows better than me the process of photogrammetry. Okay, but you have
so
to
my
have
idea
multiple
was
pictures
that
of the surrounding. That's it. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay.
Yeah, so my idea is that some models, maybe they are without movement, maybe they are animated. Actually, we can take from Maximo website animated models and use
Okay, Mixamo.
3D.
Okay.
Yes, and then I want to put some floral texture, like they are really small in real life, but to make them bigger, and it will be very inspiring probably when such small texture becomes very big, and it will be all surrounding. And this is small flying textures. This I took from here. This is Blender tutorial.
Yes, yes, yes. From Blender Guru.
Yeah, or how to make this sphere. I like to study how to make some animated simple shapes with some lighting effects. I'm not sure if we can put it inside of Mozilla Hubs, but I think to apply to Spark AR, then to augmented reality, it will be possible. So in my sketch, it will be like those shapes, circle, they will be flying. And maybe you told that today you will explain how to make animated skin texture for model. So I want to
sorry, not animated. Sorry, not animated skins, but animated UV.
Yeah, UV. So I want to use basic shapes, but using animated UV to express feelings of music. I like to work with light and with simple animation. So it shall give some feeling of music, of inspiration, in my opinion. So this is my sketch, something like that.
Nice, sounds amazing. All the
Okay.
if you have some, I think that you already knows the direction that you want to take, and you also you have already highlighted your challenges, your spots where you can have some problems, like animation and things like that. Because I'm not going to explain animation in the apps because it's something not easy, as I told at the beginning.
I think it's easy when we take already made animation figures, for example.
Yeah, if you already make animation, it's not that hard, and actually Blender has a lot of tools. But it took to me to explain only the scratch of modeling 3 days almost. Okay, if I have to explain also animation, I need another week to explain it in a way that you start from the beginning, okay? And it's a course apart. But if you have some issues, as I told to Veronica, okay, I can help you. Don't worry. And also, you are doing something that works fine, and maybe I will show later if I can find easily a model to animate. Okay, I will show you that from Mixamo, if you know it, it's super easy to take an animation and export it again to the apps. If the animation is already made, okay, it's not a problem. If you have to make it by hand, it's not that easy. And also, if I'm going to explain it, yeah. And also, if I have to explain it from beginning, I want to explain how is animation, not how to click on Mixamo, because that is not animation. This is an animated object, okay? Animated object, maybe I will make a video, okay, this afternoon or tomorrow, on how to put already animated object, okay? I will do that.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Someone else?
We have Yellow Vega, but he doesn't speak English well. I can translate actually. Леша, я могу перевести.
Oh, but if she prefer, also she can type to me later, as she prefer.
This is he. He is.
Oh, he. Sorry.
maybe I can как рассказать. My English too not very good. Maybe
Okay.
you help me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ну, це ви мені допоможете перевести?
Давай.
Да, спасибі. Ідея була в тому, що це якби людина посередині має бути.
In the middle of this sketch there is a human being.
Okay.
А це мають проходити такі промені музики чи просто в якихось взаємодії, і вони мають нанизувати.
This is arrows or some ropes of music or interaction.
І вони мають взаємодіяти з людиною і змінювати її зсередини.
Это живая людина или модель?
Ні, це модель.
This interaction, colorful, they shall interact with human being figure and to change it.
Також мені хотілося, ну, тобто, щоб якщо музика буде грати, і щоб ці фігурки, ну, на які на ескізі, вони мають вібрувати або переміщатися з одного простору в інше, і це має якби така бути гра.
Они должны реагировать на реальные звуки?
Ну, хотілося б так, але я не знаю, як це зробити.
These colorful shapes, like circles, they shall move and interact regarding to the sounds of music. Yeah. Like
Okay.
kinetic art,
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Ну, якби ідея поки в цьому заключалася.
That's actually a very interesting idea, but if it will be possible to make in Mozilla Hubs, I'm not sure. Я говорю, что очень интересно, но будет ли интерактивность в Mozilla Hub, наверное, невозможно. Возможно, в дополненной реальности можно.
Я гадаю, що це можна записати просто як відео, як вони рухаються, що воно не буде реагувати на звук. Ну, тобто це просто буде як відео якісь чи анімація точніше якась.
So artist wants to animate that small colorful shapes of circles to make like reactive to the music, or maybe it will be animation or it will be recorded video. So she will see.
Okay.
But you know, I know that about Mozilla Hubs, it is not possible to make interactive art.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah.
For SparkR, we can do that interaction.
Yeah, yeah. But in Mozilla now you can make is actually something that I'm testing. There is an audio reaction. Yeah, inside Blender there is an exporter for an audio reactive
we want to
things
know this
to the voice. But I don't think you can do too much stuff. For example, you can only scale something, not to move in an organic way, you know. It's something very basic. It's not something advanced as inside Spark. Spark, you can instead having also very nice animations. But it's something I have to test.
Он говорит, что изучает в Blender сейчас возможности реагирования на звук, но это базовое всего лишь изменение масштаба. Вот. А в Spark можно более сложно делать.
Питання, в Mozilla Hubs можна, щоб аватар, який буде ходити, міг рухати предметами, які будуть нанизані на ці проволоки, ось вони є, ну, тобто на них ще мають бути одягнені візерунки, такі, як тут на зображенні, чи можливо аватар, щоб він сам міг скласти ніби свою людину?
She is asking, is it possible that avatar, like real person who is coming to Mozilla Hubs, can move these small shapes? They will be placed on that colorful lines. So is it possible that real avatar can move these 3D shapes in
You mean
Mozilla
that
Hubs,
an
like
avatar?
real-time interaction.
No, for
No,
the
in
moment.
VR it is possible, I know. But
In augmented reality, yes, but in apps, I'm not sure. Okay, because they are putting a lot of things lately, but for what I know, it's not possible to have interaction with other objects.
Мгм. Ты поняла, да?
Да.
В VR
просто,
можна, в VR можна, а в
не можна. Ну просто я була якось на презентації в Mozilla, і там були такі молекули, і людина, яка заходила, вона могла рухати ці молекули, збирати їх, як вона хоче.
Mm. She is telling that once she attended one presentation about Mozilla Hubs, and it was a person like avatar, and that person could move such molecules by own hands in the
My own hands, but
maybe this
on
is UX design for virtual reality, probably.
but like taking something and only move it, or you move it on a path. Because here I see that they follow also a path, the curve that you are, yeah.
Да, он говорит, ты видела, что он их реально двигал, или эти предметы просто по какому-то пути двигались?
Ну, я не могу утверждать, но мне кажется, что мы могли их двигать. Ну, я могу ошибаться тоже. Ну, то есть, как бы...
Oh, you know, maybe what they did? Maybe they animated the object and they put in an area that is sensitive to your position. And if you go inside that place, the object starts to move. So it looks like you are moving it.
Он говорит, что возможно
Maybe.
разместить.
I'm not sure
Да.
because I'm not expert on app. I'm more on Blender side.
Короче говоря, Mozilla Hubs еще очень ограничена в возможностях. Возможно, там был какой-то обман, ну, как бы оно было
Видео, я поняла, как
запрограммировано
обман для человека.
Ну, виртуально, ну, вообще идея крутая у тебя очень.
But if you have a reference to the person that has shown this, I'm curious to see it.
Он говорит, если у тебя остались ссылки на то, что ты видела, то маму интересно увидеть.
Окей, я пошукаю.
She will search that information, and if she will find, she will share.
У мене
Thank you.
запитання. У мене є ще
Thank you very
запитання.
much.
Question. She has a question.
Як мені
Okay.
зробити скло?
Скло?
Да, от мені треба, щоб ця людина, тут вона начебто зі скла, і я не розумію, як це зробити.
You want to make that person from glass material. Is it possible? In Blender, I
Okay.
think yes. But for
Ну, я
Mozilla.
думала так.
Possible is possible. We have to check if it looks good, because transparent objects, for what I know, are very problematic inside the app. If you have many levels, I don't know, they have to fix it. Actually, I have read something about that. But if you have many objects with different levels of transparency, okay, you are having some troubles. You see one at a moment and you see the other in another moment. Instead, something that you can have is an object that is totally transparent. For example, like a leaf or a flower, you know, you can have the transparent stuff. If you have a PNG, you can have that, but not something in the middle, like frosted glass. So glass is complicated for the app.
Ты поняла или переводить?
Ну, якщо можеш трошечки перевести.
Ну, он сказал, что все объекты, которые придают прозрачность, довольно сложны. Если это PNG, то это возможно, а если это именно 3D-модель, то там действительно проблема с текстурированием и с передачей сложных отражений, бликов,
В
прозрачности.
Mozilla Hubs, да? Да, я зрозуміла.
Да,
Тобто це
оно
можна просто зробити
плоско.
PNG і поставити як картинку, да? Я так
Да,
розумію.
можна так.
Yeah.
Кен, у мене ще, знаєш, яке питання? Я не розумію, як зробити оці кружечки, і щоб вони одягалися на оці мої штучки.
Это 3D-моделирование.
Ага. Ну, тобто, ну, я просто ще не розумію, як це зробити.
She is Italian that she don't understand how to make this colorful thing. I will translate.
Okay. I can. Okay, you can do it, but inside the room. I think I have to check it because it's something I don't use it too much. And if you use the pen tool, but it's very tricky, you know. Inside the hub, you can realize some ropes. And after, if you pin these ropes, when you go out and you go back, the ropes are still there. Okay. But it's not the best way to have something very precise. I can show to you how to make something that is called curve side blender. Okay. And with that, you can have a real, shape. Okay.
Yes, it shall
yeah.
be 3D model for sure.
Yeah.
Actually,
if
in Gravity Sketches, 2 minutes of work. In Blender, a bit more.
No, in Blender now it's because I didn't, you know, I wanted to show to you guys the basic tools to understand modeling. But actually in Blender there are a lot more tools inside to model stuff. And there is if you have to model curves, you don't use my method, okay? You use another way, but this way require to use modifier. And I didn't want for beginner start to speak about modifiers because, you know, in 3 days can be tricky for someone.
Yes, but it is possible to study. Actually, we are searching.
It's I show it.
Easy.
I show
we
it.
don't need to make hard things.
It's an easy thing, okay. But this easy thing require you to know something else. So if now I'm explaining to you how to make curves, actually that tools you can make many more other stuff, okay. But I'm explaining it only to make this kind of object, okay. That's why I haven't explained it before. It's more powerful.
В общем, он сказал, что это сделать возможно довольно просто с помощью инструмента Curves, а шарики твои это же просто шарики. Ну, так 3D-модель все должно быть.
Да, ну я не розумію, як дирочки зробити. І щоб я могла ними потім рухати, навіть відео, щоб могла записати, як вони рухаються, анімацію.
She wants to make these ropes and put on the ropes shapes of balls and to make hole inside of balls and to animate like that balls. They are moving along the path of these ropes. And she wants to make this.
I make a video. If I don't do it in this weekend, just remember that to me on Discord and I make it, okay?
Okay.
So just a moment, I have to put a note on it. Thank you to both, also for the translation. Just a minute, okay? I have to put a note on. Okay. Someone else?
Кто еще хочет сказать?
Okay.
Maybe that's it.
That's it. Everybody also explained their concept to me.
So please be free to ask. So we have time
Yeah.
now only like for for explaining things, and we have Mark with us, so we can use this like as a possibility. Even some ideas that you don't feel like a formed, really prepared idea for a moment, they could be discussed also.
Yeah, yes, and also be free to type to me on Discord. You know, yeah, when I can, I answer to everybody. Really. So that's it. I think we can start, right, Alexandra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take me a moment just to put on my Blender and to share my screen. Okay. So now you can see my screen, right? And let's start. Today I'm explaining the material for the hub, okay? And I'm explaining to you the concept of nodes because inside Blender, it's not the easiest way, okay, to make materials, but the most powerful way to make materials inside Blender is using a system that is called nodes. So now we open our Blender. I put on my screencast key. Okay, so you can see what key I'm pressing. If I go on the top of my Blender, I have the different workspaces because Blender Foundation was so kind for us to put already some environment for the specific task. So we go to shading, this one, just pressing on it. And I prepared this scene, okay. In this scene, you can see I have a basic cube, okay. This cube has the default material for GLTF, that is the format that is required by the spoke, by the app, okay. So you create your GLTF material in this way. This, okay, maybe it's a bit unstable, my internet, I'm seeing. Okay, you see that I have these connections that I can move and put on different pins. Okay, I have this this node that is called principal BSDF, that is my material, okay, for PBR shading. PBR shading is or almost a universal way in this moment to shade stuff for game engine and real-time game, essentially. So also, basically, the Mozilla Hub is a game engine, is in the web, but is essentially a game engine, and is using in the GLTF exporter this node, the principal BSDF. By default, in Blender, you have already assigned the principal BSDF when you create a new material, okay? To create a new material, now if I create a new cube with Shift A, okay, and I put a cube, okay, you see that here in the node editor that is all this area, okay, I don't have nothing because I have to create initially my material. If I press new, it already creates this basic material using the principle BSDF. When I was on the other object, you have seen that I have a lot of other nodes, okay? These orangish nodes and these purple nodes, okay? So let's go to the initial material. I have this node that is my material, and I have this other node that is my material output. When you want to visualize it in the viewport, you have to have connected these two nodes together. From the output of this one, you have to connect the material output, okay? So how to do that? You simply drag from a pin to the other pin, and you have to go to surface, okay? But this is when made by default when you create a material. I'm explaining just that because it can happen for a beginner that maybe initially, by mistake, you erase these nodes. So how to put it back? As in the layout viewport, that one where we have created our objects, with Shift A, okay, you can search for it. You know already that it was output, okay? Or otherwise with, oh, now my screencast is not here. So a moment. Oh, I think it's not working in this ambient, so I have to change it, maybe. Okay, it's not working here. Sometimes you have also this kind of problem with add-ons. No. Okay, now it's back. So I press Shift A, you can see here, okay, but maybe I can enable the add-on here. No, it's only enabled there, okay. So I press Shift A, I go to output, material output, and I connect this one to surface. And now, if I go to material mode, the shading here, okay, you have back the material. So, how to create instead the images nodes? Okay, I will share with you all the nodes that you need for GLTF, okay? But otherwise, you create these images that you need to make your material for the hub in this way, just selecting the different textures. Now I select one that is not okay for that, but is a texture just to show to you. You select your texture and you drag it on the window and you create the node. After, you just connect the yellow pin with the respective yellow pin. Which pins do you have to connect? I have already, okay, done it for you here. Okay, you have to connect the diffuse material, this one, that is an image essentially, okay, to the base color, diffuse to base, and is the image for your, okay, object color. Now if I connect it, you see I have a color. Okay, now both the objects have the same material. So you see now, if I connect diffuse, I have color here. Okay, so if you click on it, for example, you can make the base color of the object red. Why why you have these glossy effects? Because, okay, here you have other two nodes that you need. Are all images, okay? But they can be images or the basic color if you connect it, okay? And the basic color here you see, oh, you say basic color 0 and 1 is not a basic color. Actually, it is. It's a black and white image, okay, that says to me, okay, when is black means 0, you don't have metal. And instead, okay, where is white, you have the metal. Is metallic or not metallic? And in fact, I can show to you, you don't need to know this node, I can show to you that creating an RGB node that is for colors and connecting it to metallic, if I go to black or white, I have the same effect. You see that now looks more like plastic. And if I go up, looks more like a metal. Okay. It's for that. After, you see that also this material is glossy. The glossy is defined by another image, okay, if you have a UV unwrap, that is a black and white image that say this material is rough or is not rough. What means? The opposite of glossy. Instead of thinking in terms of glossiness, Blender think in terms of roughness, okay? So, now I erase it, means that I do the same, okay? I connect it to roughness, means that if is black, is not rough, it means it's glossy, okay? In fact, it's reflecting my environment. If I go to white, is very is very rough, sorry, and so it hasn't glossiness. And now you see that my environment is not reflecting anymore, okay? Metal, non-metal, and glossy, no glossy, okay? So here in metallic and roughness, you see that the pin is gray because it's considering, okay, a kind of node that has an output that is black and white in or gray is in the scale. You can also have something that is a bit rough, like you know the frosted glass that I was talking about to you. Okay. The other node that is important for my material, okay, for the hub, is the normal. Okay, normal is saying to me if I have, here I don't have a texture, okay, but essentially is saying to me if something is in relief or it isn't. You have bump or you don't have bump, okay? And if you have never seen a normal map, essentially is this, just a moment, I search one on the net. Second, please. The normal map is this one. I want to show in a better way. Sorry. Okay, yeah. You see that here you have a relief, okay, like here, but is colored. This is a normal map. Essentially, because you have three directions, X, Y, and Z, each color, R, G, and B, is saying the three directions of the axis. In fact, if you go back in Blender, okay? If you go back in Blender in the layout, if you remember, you have the X and the Y, and actually I can show to you also the Z, you see? Red, green, and blue. Exactly, it's a normal map. Now I show also to you something else, that is, you can imagine a normal map that is flat. By mistake, you think that is black because it's 0, 0, 0. Instead, the normal map that is flat is similar to this is not flat, but let's put flat normal map. This has some bump, okay. This one has some noise, but okay. It's almost like that. You see that is a flat bluish color because in the reality, okay, a flat normal map is 0.5 because not only gives to you the positive direction, but also the negative. So the 0, because for color you can have value less than 0, you can have 0 and 1 for red, or 0 and 1 for blue. You can have minus. You can have something that is whiter than whiter. Okay, it's not possible. So this is the color of a flat normal map. In fact, if I go back to Blender and I go to shading and I put here, okay, even if you have to know something, when you put a flat normal map, if now I put an image, let's put an image inside Blender. This is not a normal map, okay? But when you put a normal map here in the node, okay, here, you have to select sRGB and change it with no color. Otherwise, you will have some shading problem, okay? So Control X and not color. The same is good to do also for black and white maps, okay? Not necessary, is better. And after, because it's a particular map, you have to put this node that is always with Shift A, you can search for it, normal map. Because you see that you have a bluish pin, the bluish pin is going to normal from here. Okay, is going to normal. Now, it works a bit strange, okay, but if I put an RGB color, usually you need here, you need a texture. You don't need this thing, okay, but you can do this. If now I put 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, okay, I have these things. And I don't know why it's a bit strange, but it will be essentially something of this color. Yes, because you have, oh, okay, you have to have the B to 1. Yes, this is a normal map flat. Because the Z, you still have the Z. And this 1, okay? You have to have this direction. So flat normal map is 0.5.51. Okay. Now, check if it's, yes, it's 1. Now I explained to you what is the basic material, okay, for the hub. And from here, you can already connect this output to surface. If you have a more complex material that require also emissive, you can add another a shader that is a node that is called add shader, okay, and you can mix with the principle BSDF connecting the second one to this one. Okay, what I did here, essentially connecting this to here, and connecting another node that is called emission. What is a light inside my scene? If now I connect this, what means that you see that here now is bright, no? Because this is considered as a light. The last node that you can use, and you remember it in the Lewis model, there was a map that was called occlusion, and that is a map that is giving to you the illusion of the shadow. After I will show to you the model of Lewis again, so you can understand it better, okay? But to put it inside the hub, you have to create something that is a bit tricky. You have to put a node, okay? You can choose a node that you prefer, is not important. After, with Control and G, or going here to node, you can create here, with Control G, okay, you can create a group selecting it. If now I go on the small arrow here and I press it, okay, and I go to not to option but to node, okay, I can erase this first node, just going on it and pressing the X, okay, and I rename this gamma occlusion, okay, and this output, I don't need it, I erase it, okay, and that's it, okay. Now, if I go up here, you see I have my node. After doing that, I just double click it and I call it in this way, because it needs to be, I have already it, so it's not necessary, okay, but I have to name it exactly in this way. Is the way I have created this node. Guys, until now, is everything clear? If you have some questions, let me know.
Can you please, Marco, repeat the last part of like editing?
The node?
Yeah, please, thank you.
Which one? The occlusion one?
Yeah, the last one you did that you eliminated.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because I couldn't follow and find the menu.
Yeah, I did it a bit fast because I want also, to be a bit on the schedule, but I understood that it was too fast. So I asked it. I go back. I erase it, okay. And if now I press Shift A, okay, I put a node that is not important, but because I know already that has a no color data, okay, and it worked, essentially, is something that Mozilla said in one of their show. They said how to create it, okay? And you have to create it in this way. For me, it works. You create these nodes, but I think actually these nodes can be also the color. It's not important, okay? You see that I have pins that are different. I have a yellow pin and a gray pin. Gray pin means that I don't have a color, but I have a gray image, okay? So here, okay, I go selecting it. I go to here, so I select it. After what I do, I go on node here, or I press Ctrl G, okay, and I create a group. Now I have this green background, and I see that I have also two nodes. One is called group input and group output, because in the nodes you have always on the left the inputs and on the right you have the output. I can also erase this one, okay, and in outputs here where there is written outputs, okay, I select it here. This tab is not visible. You have to click this arrow. There is a small arrow here. You click on it and you see that under node, under this tab, you have inputs and outputs. You select outputs, you don't need them. You select it, and under there is this X. You press it and you erase it. And after you do the same for color, you select it and you erase it. After this node, you call it in this way. It's also, I think, case sensitive. So with I use occlusion, capital letter, okay, at the beginning. You type that, otherwise it doesn't work, I think, because it should be case sensitive. After you do this, you go here on the top, and there is this arrow. You press it, okay, and now you are back in your interface. After you go here, and you put the name, this name. Now I have already created it, okay? I have already created it, so I can't rename in the same way these nodes, okay? Otherwise it's changing. Let's try. Don't change it to something. You see that now the other one became 001 here. It changed it. Mm-hmm. So it's just for that I haven't done this before. So I erase it. I don't need it. And there you put your occlusion. But be careful with that, because if you don't too much about the texturing, you can have an unexpected result, because maybe your object wasn't wrapped too much well. And now I show to you what I mean for unwrapping for people that they don't know this concept. Okay, it's okay for everybody until now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where you find occlusion?
Oh, sorry, who was speaking?
Where you find orange occlusion, no green, orange.
Oh, actually, I just, if I have occlusion, okay. Here is the same of other. You can put a color here, okay. But when you are using this kind of settings, if you are going to use occlusion, okay, or you don't use it and you simply disconnect it, okay, or otherwise you have an image. And now I'm showing to you in the example with the model by Lewis, okay, what is it occlusion? Is that map that you obtain when you are going to make baking, essentially. All this map, like diffuse, emission, and metallic, usually and roughness, okay, is something that if you are not using 0 or not, yes or no, okay, you are not going to use colors, okay, you are going to use a real texture. And usually when you find a material, like you remember the website, this one, this one, not this one, okay, this add-on, okay. Now here I have something that is not set up in this file, okay, but you remember that I had this add-on that allow me to take some textures from the web and put them inside my Blender file. You remember it?
Not really.
Okay, I try to show it again. I don't know. Sometimes when you rely too much, you know, when on add-ons, it can happen. What happened here? I was supposed it was working and say I have something to set in the preference. Say, you see here, you have nothing set up, so it's not working. So I have to go inside my preferences, find the Lily Surface Scraper, this one, and here I have to check again where is my folder. Okay. And now you see I have it back again. You see, now I have it back again because there was something to set up. But now I show to you my Chrome, so you remember it after maybe. If I go second, yeah, okay. You remember there was this website where you go, it opens after I go here on the address, I select it, okay, I copy it, just that. And if now I go back to Blender, okay, I have this the object selected. Now, if I go here on the add-on that is under material, okay, I have to install it, obviously, and I say import from clipboard. Here I select the size of the texture, 1K, 2K, and also the format. I put 1K because it's just for an example, okay? Press OK, and now you see that I have my material inside Blender. You remember it now?
Yes.
Okay. And if you see now, changed my material is similar to the other, okay? But you can see it already did for me the job and put it this map that now I'm going to show to you what it is. Now we have a practical example, okay, of what I was talking, because it's very difficult, I understand, without a practical example sometimes. This is my color, okay? What means that if now I only show it, this is what is showing my image, is this image, okay? After what I have, with a mouse, you know, with like in every window, you move, keeping pressed the wheel or just scrolling the wheel, you can zoom out, zoom in, and if you go also here to view, here, you can also say view all, okay, or frame selected, and you can also look at the shortcut, okay? So now I can zoom to another node. The orange are images. This is the roughness. You remember the map that I told you that is saying that if the material is glossy or it isn't? This one. And you see, it's this kind of map. And if you remember, I said because it's a gray map, it's not going to give me color information, even if the output is a color, because it's still considered the color. the gray. Here, in color space, you have non-color. And if I have a metallic map somewhere, sometimes, no, here, for example, they just put 0 because it's a rock, you know, it's a stone, it's not a metal. So you put 0 here. Metallic is 0. After what they did, they have some relief, because if you look at my material, you see that here you see it's not too much. Maybe I try to increase it. You see that I have a bit of thickness, and I can show it to you in a better way doing this. Okay, I do like that. And after here, simple, and optimal display, and I go to cycles. It takes a bit. You see that if I change the value here, it's going up and down. You see it? Here is changing the relief. Now I exaggerated, but only to show it to you. No relief, 0 relief. And this is given by this map that has this kind of color. Is this texture. See, it's giving this the illusion of that. Okay?
Yeah, all clear.
Okay, and here I don't have lights, so my emission nodes is missing. There is not emission at all. And because it's not made for the exporter in occlusion, I have occlusion. It's this one. And actually it's flat. It hasn't occlusion. They put just a white. It's like having the same occlusion everywhere. I have to show the baked image by Lewis model if you want to see it. Here is flat in this case. There is. Oh, maybe they put some. Yeah, there is a bit on the raft. It's a bit strange, but because it's also colored a bit, and it's very strange, this one. Usually it's gray. This is not a good map, but because maybe it's for other software, they put some color, I don't know what. Because sometimes lately they are putting also some shadow that looks like colored because the material is a bit colored. They are using this trick sometimes, but usually it's a gray map always. This, in fact, the color space, if you see, is not color. Okay, and probably is reading it at the gray map. So that's it. But you see what happened, that here I have this node that is saying that I have UV. Instead, in my model, I added the UV. So if you are making a material with the textures, you have to have your object unwrapped. And now I show to you what means. I take another. Is it all clear until now? Someone has some questions?
I just have a quick question for our own models and projects. So if we would like to create our own textures instead of downloading ones, we should do like all these like diffuse, occlusion, emissive files, and then.
No, this is something if you need to make a realistic texture, okay? you can use this add-on that is already putting for you the textures, okay? Otherwise, you go to the website. Yeah, important question. Otherwise, you have to go to the website that I say to you, okay? And you have to download it one by one. You see that here you have all the textures.
Mm-hmm.
See? So essentially, you download it and you plug it in the right spot if you want to use realistic material. Otherwise, you do what I did at the beginning. What I did for every node, I put colors. I'm not using textures. I put for base color a color. But if you want to have a realistic material, you need this. Because other nodes from Blender, in Blender, you can do also, you remember the procedural iridescent material I did at the beginning. That one that was like a sphere that was glossy, like a mirror, but iridescent with colors. If you try to, do you want I go back to it? I'm seeing that you don't
I have
remember
a
it
question,
maybe.
Marco.
Yeah.
So basically the normal map that you showed is essentially a light map, right? Like that's why it looks more realistic, because it takes the texture and then along with adding like the color of and the actual graphic of the texture, you're basically taking a map of the light of the texture and then overlaying
Which map?
The normal map that you're adding, the one that's purple and no, I'm thinking in general.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a light map.
In
right?
general.
I'm just trying to understand.
No, it's not a light map. Okay, I show to you. This one is my color. Let's do this. I enlarge it a bit. Diffuse, okay, is my color of the material. You see?
Okay.
It's it. After, I have this map that is saying to me, okay, that you see that here is the stone, okay?
Yeah.
The stone, I do this. Let's see if it works. It never works, yes. You see here the stone, okay?
Yeah.
It's darker.
Correct.
Yeah, instead here you see it's whiter.
Right.
Yeah, it's lighter and darker, okay? Darker means no rough, and what means that is glossy. In fact, if you imagine stone, it's glossy. Between stones, there is mortar. Mortar, if you imagine the mortar, is not reflective. So it's very rough. You see that it's almost white?
Right.
Yeah. And that's it. After here, I don't have the metallic map, okay? But if I watch, now I resize a bit, okay? If I watch metallic here, it's 0, because if I'm going to show it and I put metallic, you see that looks like metal, like bronze.
Right.
But it's not accurate because it's stone. So a stone can't be. If you want to obtain this effect, okay, but it's up to you. It's not a metal. So 0 is simple. It's 0 or 1 there, okay. But sometimes, okay, you can have, for example, instead of mortar here, you can have gold, okay.
Right.
Okay, and if you have gold, where there is gold, you will have a map that will be white. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Instead, where, let's do it, is the wrong map, but let's go. take over this horrible mouse thing. If now I connect rough also to metallic, and I do something in the middle, just a moment. And if now, don't watch what I'm doing, is just, you know, to, if you want to learn, okay, but otherwise it's not important. Okay. Oh, like this. Why is not? Oh, just that. Okay. This one. Okay. Like this. Okay. Instead, I have to do something more like this. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, all right, I put it, it's still too less. Maybe just a moment. Okay. When it's white, but because it's strange, this material. Okay, maybe. You see that now has a strange reflection here. Looks like more, it's a wrong material, okay? So let's change the color, maybe you see it better. Control. I've ruined all the things, okay? Now you can see better. Okay. What is, I have to erase it. Okay. There is still something that is, oh, they put this. Okay. And after in roughness, just a second. You see that now is very reflective. And if I put now this thing here, but because it's a PBR material, so it's a real time, so it's a bit difficult. If I put it here, you see what happened. You see it?
Yeah.
Where I put white map, now looks more like rough. Where it's white, looks like it's ruined the metal, okay? Instead, where it's black, is more glossy. It's more reflective.
Yeah.
That's what normal map is doing. If instead I go to zero metallic, you see now it's still the same, but where I have glossiness, okay, it doesn't look like metal now, it looks like plastic. Okay, this is the concept.
Right. Okay.
Is it clear now? And instead for normal map, now I have crushed everything, so I have to go back a lot. For normal map, what is doing, if I change the strength, is giving the illusion of depth. You see? Is flat, is still flat, the surface. If I go like there, you see it's flat. But if the light bounces in the right way, like if I have it a bit sloped, you see that now looks like in relief. But I have not mesh, so it's very optimized for game engine. Obviously, when I go closer, I see the illusion, for example, in the corner here, I see the illusion go over. But if I have instead like a floor and I have my say player that is in this position, it gives me the illusion that there is a lot of surface when instead is a flat plane. That's it. Now, if for you it's okay, just give me 3 minutes, okay? And before, let's ask me if everything is clear until now for everyone. And after I take 3 minutes, okay? Or 5,
Yes,
as you
yes.
prefer. Okay.
I have another question. We can do it after a few minutes if you want.
No, okay, I answer. If for everyone is okay, what I'm now, because I had a lot of questions, we are also a bit later, okay, but we can continue for other how much you want, you know. For 30 minutes, I think in 30 minutes or less, I hope less for you, okay. I want to explain how to export to the hub. That is super easy, okay? And I would like to show to you how is made UV unwrap in an easy way, okay? Because the last time I have shown it to you because someone asked it, but it was too fast, okay? And maybe it wasn't clear. Now I take that concept like I'm doing with material, step by step, okay? Is it okay for you?
Okay. Okay.
For everyone? Okay. Okay. So if for you it's okay, I can answer now, and after let's have a 5 minutes break, okay?
Yeah.
Or if you prefer 10.
I'm anything is good.
5 minutes is okay.
Okay, the question?
Yeah. So I just wanted to know. So if I'm trying to do the thing that you showed us right at the beginning of just taking an image and using that to add a texture, I'm actually like just to try. I'm adding like an image which is actually like say a person, so it has like objects on it, and so when it's when the image is placing itself on the object, it's sort of randomizing what surface, what part of the image goes on. So is there a way to control that? I don't know if I'm explaining it well.
I sorry, I don't get the question. You mean
is it possible
if
for
you
me
have
to decide what part of the image goes on what surface? Like if I have a cube.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I wasn't understanding.
No.
I'm also, my vocabulary is going away some moments. So yes, it's possible. It's possible because it's the concept of UV unwrapping. Okay. You can decide also what kind be careful with this, okay? You can decide, and after I show to you, what kind of material you want on each surface, okay? But if you are going, okay, to put different materials on every surface, okay, you have to be careful to performance because it's and Vera I think can confirm that it happens that if you go to apps, every material that you are creating is creating what is called draw call. The draw call is that process of the graphic card for someone that doesn't know this term, is the process of the graphic card that say depending on what you are viewing, if I have to render something else, okay? And this process in virtual reality like Mozilla Hub can be done for a limited amount of objects, because means that also every object that is being called by graphic card is taking memory and also computational power of your card. And if your card is powerful, can manage it. But you can imagine that if you have a phone or an old laptop is not working well. And also you are going to download, if you have, a texture that is 4 MB, okay, and you are creating realistic material, you have something as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 textures, okay, of 2 MB. So you have 10 MB for every material, okay. So it's something that you have to download on your graphic card. And you can understand that if it's in real time, the performance can be affected by it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to take sorry guys, a small break. Okay, I have to refresh me a bit. Of how much do you want? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Let me know.
For me, 5 minutes is good.
5 minutes for everyone.
Yes, 5
Okay,
minutes.
perfect. See you.
Yeah.
Okay, see you in 5 minutes. Okay. We will continue, and after that we are continuing on this. When I finish, I will say to you it's finished, and who want to remain, I can show to you also some curiosity, some things that is not necessary to know, but it's nice to know if you want, it's a part of your knowledge. Okay, see you later. Let me know in case. Bye. See you in 5 minutes. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's wait if someone. Let me know when you are back, okay? I
Well,
type
I'm
it.
here.
Okay, is everyone here? Looks like to be in the school. I type on the chat to know if everyone is back. Okay, Parized is here. I'm not seeing. Oh, Vera now is back because it wasn't working before. Alexei, you're here. Yes.
Marco,
Yes.
I have question.
Who,
While we are waiting,
who is
I can
talking?
ask
Because I don't see. Who is talking? Sorry.
Vera.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, but because I don't see who is talking because I have the screen sharing. So sorry.
Yeah, I wanted
Okay.
to share my screen to ask the question. But
Okay.
now
So
I
I don't.
cannot.
Okay. Yeah, I have to stop to share it, and you can
Just
share it.
quick question.
Okay. I stop it a moment, and so you can share it. Okay.
Uh-huh. Now I'm sharing. So my question,
Perfect.
now we see capsule. And for example, I don't know actually how to choose the vertex, how to make the vertex mode.
Okay. Go
Uh,
in edit mode. Is on the left.
Edit
What
mode.
what is
I want,
this object?
I don't know.
What what object do you put inside the metaballs?
This is
Okay, go in object mode.
capsula. This is capsule.
Now this is a metaball. That it's part of capsule is part of this. So with this, okay, now if you move one close to the other, you can create. If you change your mode to solid, you
Oh,
can
look,
create.
look.
Yes,
Wow.
you can create this exactly. And I don't remember if you press Alt S, you can shrink it. I don't use Metaball so much. You can do some fluid dynamics things with this, okay?
Mhm. So my
But
question.
I will show later. You want to edit it, okay?
Now, I will edit. I will create my shape. It will be made
Yeah.
from capsule, but some distortion of shape like water or stone. It will be some waves on the surface. So it will be not so
Okay.
obviously capsule, but it will be something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I
But
want to make this shape is moving like animated vertices, it is like a moving gelée or moving water. And
like
it will be
okay, like
together with
jelly.
sound, like a light
Okay.
sculpture, like breathing sculpture. I want to make like this also. This is my second idea.
Okay, you want to animate it and to make
By
like an
vertexes.
organic animation. by vertices. So I don't show it to now. Remember, if I don't answer to you, I will put no also on Discord maybe today or tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
But not now because it's taking a bit and maybe also can be confusing for someone because now we are talking about UV unwrapping, and if I go to animation, after it can cause some problems in the flow of people. I will show it on Discord. Okay.
I will write Discord.
Okay. So, okay, just a second. I have to put a note because my memory is not so good.